My name is Anthony Garcia.
My name is Jonathan.
And today we're going to be doing an oil change on this Toyota Tacoma from 2001. First things first, you want to pop the hood. There will be a latch under the steering wheel.
Once the hood latch is popped, there's going to be a secondary safety mechanism to prevent the hood from popping open that you need to press in with your fingers and push to the side.
Next, you want to hold up the support.
These are the essentials you'll need for an oil change. First of all, obviously the oil as well as oil filter.
And if you're wondering what kind of oil your car takes, just look on top of the engine. There's going to be an oil cap, and right here there'll be a number saying what it is. This is 5W30, and that's what we have.
Second of all, we're going to need an oil pan to catch the oil, and as well as an oil funnel to put the oil back in. Third of all, we're going to need a 3/8 ratchet, a 14mm, and if you want to keep it clean like me, some gloves and as well as a rag. To take off the oil filter, you'll need an oil filter wrench. And last but not least, we have a jack and jack stands to hold up the car safely. Once the hood is popped, we'll need to jack up the car, but to do so first, we must chalk off the wheels. Now, if you're wondering where you jack up the car, if you look under the car here, you'll see a big solid metal frame, which is the most reinforced part of the car.
As an extra safety precaution, leave the jack under the car in case the jack stand fails. For the next step of the oil change, you have to go under the car and locate the oil pan.
It is located in the lowest part of the engine, and hence the name, it looks like a pan that holds oil. And this is the nut you need to remove.
Jonathan will now remove the oil drain plug.
This is the part where it gets messy, so please be careful. Ooh, look at that oil. Before putting back the drain plug, be sure to replace the washer that sits right on the nut right here. Once your oil has stopped draining or it has started to seep like this, you can now reinsert the oil drain plug, which I will do now. And just be sure to clean off any mess. Now, since we don't have a torque wrench, make sure just to give it 2 ugga-duggas. 1, 2. Next, we need to take off our oil filter, which if you see, I'm right next to the oil pan. If you look back there, you'll see the oil filter, which my apprentice will now take off. Once the oil filter is loose enough to do it by hand, you're free to do it by your hand. Ensure the oil pan is underneath, because again, this still has oil in it, and it will drip out. As you can see, it's starting to drip out. And one thing we forgot to mention, if the car is hot, the oil will obviously be hot, so please be careful with that. And when the oil filter is coming down, just be sure to keep it upright. As you'll see right now, when I flip it, there's a bunch of oil in it. And this, you can honestly just leave in the pan.
Some people like to pre-fill their oil filters with some oil. Honestly, it's not necessary, and we're not going to go through with that. But what you should do is get some oil on your fingertip and rub it around the gasket on the edge. And this is just to ensure that there's a proper seal when you install the filter. The next step before installing the oil filter would be obviously to clean the mess you just made. And then now, you will install the new oil filter.
We are now approaching the final steps of the oil change. So we have to come out of the bottom of the truck and come to the top, where we will now open the oil cap and then use our funnel, insert it in there properly. This one's a little weird, it has like a little block, so just have it like this. And then he'll now pour in the oil.
Another thing you want to keep in mind is not to pour too fast. You don't want to spill anything on the actual engine. Otherwise it's going to smell like burnt oil when you turn it on.
No puede respirar. Another thing to keep in mind is do not overfill or underfill your engine. It has to be just right. For example, this engine takes 5 quarts, which is exactly what one of these big bottles is. So for us, it's safe to pour in the whole engine. But let's say for my friend Adrian's Mercedes C300, his takes 8 quarts. So this will not be enough. He would need more extra small bottles.
The final step is turning the truck on. This is just to make sure nothing went wrong, make sure everything's good. So since this is a manual truck, you want to make sure that it's in neutral. And you want to press the clutch all the way down. And now you want to insert the key in the ignition and start it up. Now that the truck is on, you just want to make sure that there's no weird sounds. And obviously you can't hear much, so you got to go outside. Look under the truck, make sure there's no leaks. As you can see, we're all good. This is a successful oil change. To dispose of your old oil, just pour it into your old can or to the can that you just bought. And your local AutoZone or O'Reilly's will probably take this. They have oil recycling centers inside of the store. Just ask the employees.
After taking a snack break, the actual last final thing to do is to take off the jack stands. So to do so, you raise the car back up in the air again. You set down your snacks. And just pull it out. And then slowly drop the car off the air. And now just repeat on the other side and you'll be done.